All right, everybody, happy Wednesday, June 26th, and today we're going to do somewhat of a market recap. And as we head towards the end of the quarter, I think we're either in for a very boring show or one that could be pretty explosive. So let's jump through what happened today and just kind of take everything step by step. So we had somewhat of an inside day. You'll notice this was yesterday's candle on the 25th. We did close within that and likely headed south based on some of the aftermarket moves that we see going on. But notably, we did test above 20,000, but ultimately could not close there. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I thought that the 20,000 level was going to be our big turning point in the market, whether we stayed above or headed south. But the fact that we closed where we did, we're still in the 19.9s as of now, shows that we could see some strength going into tomorrow to close above that and head towards these highs again. We shall see. So let's jump into the 4 hour, just kind of take a look at what happened today. And I mean, my condolences to those that got caught in the chop because it was a pretty choppy day overall. But on the macro levels of the EMAs, 50, 100, 200, we're still above them on the 4 hour, but we are below the VWAP. So is that indicative of things to come? We're going to find out. Now, we tested this large buying candle that we saw here around 10 a.m. yesterday, and we've noticed we've put in subsequent higher lows. So are we going to turn this candle back around and head further north? We shall see, because we do have quite a bit of seller imbalance up here, whatever you want to call that. I'll leave that up to you. But the point is, we have a lot of sell orders hanging out up here, especially as we come in towards our all-time highs. Really curious to see how the market is going to react to that. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, now you'll notice the EMAs start to really tighten up. We closed below the 50 and the 100. So we've got some interesting things at play. Plus we have a full-on bearish engulfing candle. But on the macro level, we're starting to look a little more sideways, leaning towards bullish. So either way, you could tell that there's not a lot of positivity in the market, but we could see a little surprise day that pumps us up and puts us back into all this seller liquidity that's just hanging out up here in the high 20,000s. And just moving down 30-minute, you could tell which direction we're heading. Doesn't take a rocket scientist. But the point is, as we look lower down here, we have quite a bit of support. We've got some support here, followed by the lows that were put in yesterday, and obviously we held above that. So do we just hang out in this range and come up for tomorrow? We shall see. One thing that I'm starting to notice is that we are a little bit more range bound, I guess you could say. Kind of want to chart this out within this general range here, as well as coming up to the top of this. You know, we're pretty much just hanging out in no man's land. And that's why I said my condolences to anyone that got stuck in the chop today, because it was not fun. Even when we're looking at lower time frames, we're pretty much just hanging out in the chop. Now, mind you, if you caught some of these moves earlier today, congrats. Pretty tough to spot. Even I was not able to really capitalize on much of those today. Had a pretty small day, made less than $100 across my accounts, so nothing too notable to report. But the point is, the lower the time frames we go, you could just tell, man, we are sideways below the EMAs across the board. Let's just use our VWAP as an example, and we're just hanging out. So not much going on. Hopefully we see some follow through tomorrow with where this market may be able to go, but ultimately we were pretty sideways, so hopefully we can retrace and push ourselves back up. Just see some more exciting moves. I know looking at the volume profile here, we're hanging on the lower end of that, so hopefully we can find some buyers to push us back up towards the point of control and see how the rest of the week goes. So we've got 2 days left. We've got some news coming out and some drivers that'll definitely push this market around. Trade smart, trade safe, guys. See you in the next video.